Megan Hamilton from Sleepy Hollow Farm and Barn Tenders LLC. Today we have a unique project, and I have my friend Connor here who's actually manning the camera. We had a horse this week that actually experienced sand colic, which in the southeast of Massachusetts we do have a lot of sandy ground. And we in particular here at our farm have sand lots, so they're dry lots, there's no grass. And so horses that are typically fed on dry lots are going to be more prone to sand colic. And thus we had that problem this week. So what I'm doing is actually testing with bags to see which horses are ingesting more sand than any other horses. And this is actually a manure sample from Madison. This is a sample that's already been processed, and I'm actually going to hold this up so that Connor can zoom in on this. And you can see this is actually from a horse that lives out in a dry lot. And you can see there's a little teeny tiny bit of sand down here in the point. You'll see the grayish change of sand. And then if we come back, what I'm going to do is actually take this. Now this is a 1 gallon Ziploc freezer bag. I've taken my gloves and taken 1 nugget from her manure in her stall this morning. I'm actually going to put a little bit of water in there. You can do this at home. This is a great test if you're feeding on a dry lot where you have sand and no grass. And you can actually do this test yourself at home and determine whether or not your horse is actually ingesting a lot of sand. And if that is the case, and they are ingesting, if you have too much air, it may be a little tricky. So I'm just going to let a little air out. But if they're ingesting a lot of sand, you may end up having an issue that we had. But if you can identify them having sand in their system, you can use products such as Sand Clear or Metamucil. Definitely speak with your vet about rations and how much and what kind of protocol that you would need to follow. We've worked very carefully and closely with our veterinarian. So here, I'm actually just going to swish the water around. Be very careful that you do have your Ziploc bag closed, as we do not want to wear that awesome juice. And I'm actually starting to already get quite a bit more sand in the base of this bag, and you need to hold it like this from one corner. Don't hold it straight up and down like this. You're not going to get a great result. What happens is when you squish the particles around, the water swishes everything, and you actually get it to settle down at the bottom. And now I'm going to show you what Madison had for sand in her stomach. And you can see the content is much more. She's got about 1/4 teaspoon, and maybe just back up. Can you still see it? Okay. She's probably got 1/4 teaspoon of sand. I'm going to rotate the bag a little bit. Look at the amount of sand in here. And this is also, you're seeing this because she's been treated with Psyllium. So this is actually being pushed out of her system. And the Psyllium, as I'm told by our veterinarian, and what Metamucil and Sand Clear does, is it creates a form of a gel within the horse's digestive system and into their stomach. And these little sand particles will adhere and stick to the gel, so that as the horse's digestive system continues to push those particles through, that gel is actually becoming more solid and the sand sticks to it and is able to be pushed through the intestines and comes out in our stall. So the amount of sand that we're seeing here is pretty significant. As far as you can even see the settling patterns kind of settling down. You see the grayish color, that is all sand. So now we know that she's actually pushing out all of this. So it just was a little tidbit. It's a learning curve that we actually experienced this week, and whenever things like this happen, I like to share it with my fellow horse peeps. So if you're not sure if your horse has sand, take the test. 1 gallon bag, swish it around, and then let it settle and see. And if you do have sand particles, speak with your veterinarian. Make sure you're on the right track for a treatment protocol. Thanks for watching.